It's a big day. Many of you may remember the 2006 serial Mumbai train blasts. It led to the loss of life of about 189 innocent people. It's also called 7/11 Mumbai train bombings. It's been 2 decades since. The 12 men convicted in the case have been acquitted by the Bombay High Court, citing lack of evidence and a failed prosecution, that they failed to prove the case to the merit it deserved. In this report,
July 11th, 2006, a day Mumbai will never forget. 7 bombs, 11 minutes. Mumbai's lifeline, its suburban trains turned into corridors of carnage. The bombs were hidden in pressure cookers triggered on moving trains. Over 180 lives lost, hundreds injured in one of India's deadliest terror attacks. And now, nearly 2 decades later, a stunning twist. The Bombay High Court acquits all the 12 convicted by a lower court in the 7/11 train blasts case. A special bench of Justices Anil Kilor and Shyam Chandak observed that the prosecution utterly failed to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt. The court said it's hard to believe the accused committed the crime. The court did not find the statement by witnesses to be reliable. The court has ordered the release of all, including the 5 who were on death row. One suspect had died in prison during the pandemic.
कन्फेशन इनवॉलंटरी था, टॉर्चर था, विटनेसेस जो थे वो 100 दिन बाद आए एंड रिलायबल नहीं थे। रिकवरी डिस्कवरी जो है वो कायदे के हिसाब से नहीं की गई। 19 साल बाद इस केस का फैसला हाई कोर्ट से आया। ट्रायल कोर्ट ने इसमें से 5 लोगों को डेथ सेंटेंस दिया था, फांसी की सजा, बाकी 7 लोगों को उम्र कैद दिया था, एक एक्विटल हुआ था। कस्टडी में 12 लोग थे, 12 में से एक डेथ सेंटेंस वाला कमाल अंसारी की डेथ हो गई थी, तो 11 लोग थे। आज इन सब को कोर्ट ने एक्विट कर।
ओरिजिनल लोग जब नहीं मिले।
India Today spoke with Mohammad Sajid Ansari, acquitted after 19 years. Ansari said he was framed by the anti-terrorism squad.
इंसाफ को सामने लाया। देखिए ये पूरा केस ही फेक है, शुरू से आखिर तक। अब इनको कुछ लोग चाहिए थे, मैं नहीं मिलता, किसी और को ये लोग बकरा बना देते, लेकिन वो होना था। अब यहाँ इत्तेफाक किया था कि मेरे ऊपर 2 केसेस थे पुराने और मैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इंजीनियर था। इस वजह से मुझसे अच्छा कोई इनको मिला ही नहीं। इसके लिए मेरे खुद बहनों ही हैं, अब्दुल वाहिद भाई, वो भी हाँ जो एक्विट हो चुके हैं ट्रायल कोर्ट से 2015 के अंदर, तो उनके ऊपर भी 1-2 केसेस इस तरह के थे।
आपको पहले से विश्वास था कि जो केस है वो झूठा है?
यस, पहले से विश्वास था हमको कि ये केस झूठा बनाया गया है, टॉर्चर करके किया गया है। जो भी इनसे कन्फेशन लिया गया वो सब सारा टॉर्चर करके लिया गया और हमको यकीन था इंशाल्लाह यानी कोर्ट हमारे हक में फैसला करेगी। पाकिस्तानियों के साथ इनका उठना बैठना था और वो इस ब्लास्ट के अंदर उनका रोल नहीं था, लेकिन वो मीटिंग अटेंड करते थे, जबकि ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था। उसको सिर्फ इम्प्लीकेट किया गया और हमारे कहने पे तू ये पेपर पे साइन नहीं करेगा तो तेरी फैमिली को अरेस्ट करेंगे, तेरी वाइफ को लेकर आएंगे, तेरे भाइयों को लाएंगे, तेरे भाई को, तेरे मम्मी पापा को लाएंगे। ऐसे फैमिली के नाम पे उसको धमकाया गया।
Convicted in 2015, acquitted in 2025. Many lives overturned and an investigation under the scanner. And the question that remains unanswered, who was behind the 7/11 Mumbai train blasts?
19 years after the Mumbai train blast, there are questions that still stare at the investigators. Who really was behind this entire terror attack? Who was the mastermind? Why was this terror attack done? All these questions remain unanswered even after 19 years, because those who had been arrested by the anti-terrorism squad have been acquitted by the Bombay High Court. With cameraman Nitin Varne in Mumbai, Vidya for India Today.
my colleague Mustafa Sheikh joins me for the latest on that. Mustafa, what are the reasoning that have come in with regard to the acquittal, and what are even victims' families, if they've spoken out since then, have to say? What are those who've been acquitted saying? What is the sentiment on the ground? Because Mumbai clearly remembers 2006. Mustafa, if you can hear me. All right, we'll go across to my colleague in just a short while as well. So what you heard were those who've been acquitted said how their lives have been lost over the past few decades, while the ones who have lost their loved ones in 2006 continue to ask, then who is the one behind these Mumbai train terror blasts, and why have they not been convicted in time and facing punishment? Remember, for those families, there is no closure yet from 2006 to now. I want to take you through the High Court observations. Number one observation was clearly pinpointing how the prosecution, despite arrests and convictions, the prosecution failed to prove the case, eventually leading to acquittal. Observation number two, the evidence that was provided wasn't conclusive enough. It wasn't credible enough as should have been for the final judgment. High Court also observed that it's hard to believe that these accused who've been mentioned committed the crime of the serial blasts. And that's because there's no direct link that could be established by the prosecution between those who were arrested and the blasts that took place. And therefore, the final observation that was made by the High Court, death and life sentences were quashed. Punishing actual perpetrator is the key, is what the High Court had said. And then adding, false justice misleads the public. Our legal editor Nalini Sharma joins me for the latest on that. Nalini, of course, prosecution has a huge role to play, especially in convictions like this. What are you picking up about how and why the court made these observations? Because I also then tend to remember the victims who lost their loved ones as much. For them also, there's no closure coming in right now.
Along with that, Pooja, it's really startling the fact that where the trial court had given death penalty, something as serious as death penalty, which is given only in the rarest of rare cases, to these accused, the High Court has overturned it and not just reduced the sentence, has acquitted them altogether. So it's a huge discrepancy between the decision of the trial court and the High Court, which is why there is a hierarchy of courts that exists in India. But the legality behind this, Pooja, basically is that whenever a death penalty matter comes to the High Court, it is a job of the High Court to scrutinize it as if there is no earlier judgment, which means that all of the evidence, all of the testimonies, all of the statement, the entire prosecution case is looked at by the High Court from a fresh lens, because you have to understand that it is a matter of life or death for these accused, which is essentially why the Bombay High Court had gone into all of these details, also possibly why it's taken almost 2 decades for this entire case to reach its conclusion. But after that, the High Court has found that the prosecution has not done a fair job of proving the guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Beyond reasonable doubt are the key words over here, Pooja, because for anybody to be convicted for any crime, forget death penalty, for any crime and any sentence, the prosecution has to prove their guilt beyond reasonable doubt, which the prosecution has not been able to do in this case. Just one small example of how the prosecution failed, Pooja. For example, one of the points that the High Court has taken up is the test identification parade of these accused persons that had happened. And that entire test identification parade was monitored by an officer who was not authorized only to carry out these test identification parades. So these kind of procedural formalities have not been followed by the prosecution properly, which is essentially why this acquittal has now been granted. The judgment runs into almost 700 pages. We're still going into the details of it, but there is no doubt about the fact that the High Court has clearly said that the prosecution has failed in its job to prove the guilt of the accused. The evidence in this case is not reliable on the basis of the case that the prosecution has built. And what remains to be seen now is whether or not this judgment is now going to be challenged by the prosecution or not.
Okay, of course there are more legal approaches and options that can be availed, but this is terrible, because this is, remember, not just about justice, it's about justice in time and justice that should be correct. Nalini, thank you very much for this detailed perspective on what exactly happened. Mustafa continues to be with us. Mustafa, go ahead. What is the sentiment on the ground from both sides in Mumbai as the city clearly remembers the serial blasts?
Well, Pooja, Nalini was pointing out technical issues on the legal judicial issues, but yes, as 189 lives were lost in this train blast. There were more than 200 people who were injured in this life. Maybe some people's life completely changed. Even why some people, everybody who traveled in the local train of Mumbai, it has somewhere in the back of their mind that something like this has happened, and hope it doesn't happen next time. But for accused in this case to go scot-free or to be acquitted is see, it's possible that there was some problems, many problems in the prosecution's case, or the evidence was weak. But who were the real accused who did these blasts, and what was no, what was who were they from? How
Exactly.
did it was planned? So everything which has fallen flat. So, see, if for example 5 of the 12 accused were given death sentences, and if it would have been commuted and they would have been given life imprisonment sentence, that was still understandable. That the case has somewhere. But this entire case has been thrown out by the High Court, and it was sustained by the special MCOCA court and in 2015. So and there is this train blast, there is Malegaon blast. So these are things very critical unlawful issues which have happened in Maharashtra, and it must be the prosecution must be
Okay.
something like that. But on the sentiment of the ground would be that if we are asking
You know,
for
one
the
can only
justice.
think about 189 lives and the lives here as well. The ones who were accused, even convicted. However, by the time it reached the High Court said the evidence is not strong, is not credible enough. And of course, justice needs to be correctly done in such sensitive cases, and raise a lot of question on how precisely the prosecution worked in this case. Thank you very much, Mustafa and Nalini, for the latest.